Okay, I appear to be live with the wrong information. That's nice. But does that mean that it's now actually going to Twitch? I really wish Twitch did not do that. Okay, sweet. So we are now live on Twitch. Are we live on the YouTubes? Doesn't appear to be live on the YouTubes. Interesting. Let's refresh another page. Okay, yeah, we appear to be live on the YouTubes as well. Let's just double check the sound before I go and check it on other machines. Yep, that appears to be okay. So let's go check it in different screen resolutions, and I shall be back in a moment. Okay. That appears to be okay. Awesome. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Idiots Learn to Code by Amax Games. I am Amax Games Davie, or Davie for short, and this is a series where we create a game. In my case, it's only me that's here, so it's only one idiot learning to code, called Brain Drain. This is episode 4. The other 3 are available on our YouTube channel if you want to go over there and check it out, where we share our very limited knowledge of Unity and try and make a mobile game. And in this case, it's a quiz game. And we try to do so with the assistance of a chat AI. In this case, it's ChatGPT. Although, if you followed yesterday's episode, I also tried DeepSeek, Gemini, and Copilot with varying results, shall we say, in the usefulness of it. You can hear our Chief Security Officer, Spike, saying hello, our Head of Security. Meow. So the idea here is to see if, with our very limited, non-existent skills in Unity, can we actually create a mobile game? And then if we can create a mobile game, which it seems that we can, we're walking through the entire process. You can see the failures that happen while doing so. You can see the triumphs. You can see the pitfalls of this. And you can see that while AI is indeed very powerful and getting more and more powerful by the day, at this moment in time, it's not going to replace a good developer, because you still need developers to check the code that it's actually outputting or the logical decisions that it's actually made. We're also going to attempt to make sure that this application is cross-platform. So initially, we've got our developer license for Android. However, we are going to do it for Windows as well. Hopefully, possibly a web page in Windows. That's one of those, maybe an extra at a later date. And we are going to do it for those of you in the sheep pen with iOS. And I actually am in that category myself. The reason we're developing on Android first is because it's a one-off fee of $25 to become an Android developer, whereas Apple want $100 per year per account, or per company, per user, per seat, whatever way you want to do it. And at the moment, we're trying to do this on as little a budget as possible. So that's the background on this. If you want more information in Amax Games, you can head over to amaxgames.com, and you can see that we're trying to build free-to-play games that are ethical, where microtransactions are there, but they are exactly that. They're microtransactions. We're not trying to get $100 from you for some kind of diamond power pack or whatever it happens to be. And that is ad sustainable, or not ad free, but is ad supported. But again, without trying to teach our customers. Try that again. English is hard when you're talking to yourself. And try not to treat our customers like walking wallets. It also appears that I'm using the wrong title for this in YouTube. I've just spotted that, so I'm just going to try and correct that. This is actually episode 4. And I'll need to change the thumbnail as well. So just as well that I went on that little side quest rant, because these were wrong. Okay, that's been updated now. So that's the idea behind it. All of our games are going to be free to play. We're going to try and build a development community, and we're going to try and build it as ethical as possible. This isn't going to be something like you've got with, for example, I suppose the king of this is Electronic Arts, where you spend a fortune on a game, but everything's basically behind a paywall, or such a grind that you'd need to put 20,000 hours into it. Blizzard also did it with the new Diablo. And they're charging you upfront for the game, plus they're also expecting you to fork over monthly fees. FIFA obviously being the king of this. But we're intending to still try and support a few games. We've got about 10 ideas at the moment, 8, 10 ideas, that kind of ballpark. And this is actually the second time we've tried to record this series. We recorded 3 episodes of one where we were making a Flappy Birds clone. We still have those episodes, but the sound was absolutely terrible. In fact, Idiot John's sound did not get picked up on the stream. We could hear it on the stream, but when I actually downloaded the audio, for some reason, it wasn't visible. Visible. Can't see audio. It wasn't very loud. You couldn't hear it at all, to be fair, and the audio from my side was also absolutely terrible. So we're trying to trim that with AI and enhance that, make everything a bit more easier on the ear so that it's not like fingernails on a chalkboard. But in the meantime, we decided that because that takes literally hours, it's I think the first stream was like 3.5 hours, and it's taking about that every time we run an AI and make a change to the AI vocal enhancement to try and fix it. And then we have to play it, and then if it's not right, we try again with another tool. So they've not been released yet, so we decided in the meantime we'd try another one. I believe Idiot John also has an idea where he's going to be doing his own game as part of the Amax Games window and in the same vein. So although this is a series, this one's a series for Brain Drain. We'll probably have one for Sharty Birds, which was our Flappy Birds clone. We will have one for whatever Idiot John's currently working on. And we will have one probably for other types of games going forward, just to see if there is a particularly useful game idea that ChatGPT is good at. We may also try and play ChatGPT versus Gemini or Copilot or DeepSeek, where one of us will try and write the game in one language and one of us will try and write the game in another language, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so after that long rant, I should probably go on with this. So, where we left this the last time is, if we go back to our game, try and close as many windows as I can here. We still have to clean up the user interface here, and even that logo has got a bit of damage in the bottom corner for where I removed the background. But where we left it yesterday is if we hit play, it would give us a random question. There's only 5 questions currently in the database. So 9 times 9 is 81. It says the database contains 5 questions. If I click submit, it tells me that I'm correct. And then loads another question. It's giving me the same question again, but if I do 88, which is obviously incorrect, it should tell me it's incorrect, and then the correct answer down the bottom. Not sure with the correct answer if we should be displaying that at this point. I'll maybe change that at a later date. But that is the game so far. Okay. So the first thing we need to do, for those of you who watch yesterday's episode, is I loaded roughly about 1,000 questions, trying different prompts to make it easier to get the information from ChatGPT in a format that I could use. And obviously I have a problem trying to update the database because I'm using DB browser and hadn't used that before. And there's no obvious way to import all of those questions into the database in one go. But I did manage it. So that was episode 3, was basically me creating these questions after fixing the problems that was with this. And we also added the database question count onto it. I'm not sure if we're going to divide this into rounds at this point. This game's still running, I've just noticed that. But we are keeping track of the score. We should probably save the score locally at some point, but obviously the first thing I need to go is into streaming assets here, and this is our database. And there we go, it's actually opened up, and as you can see, there's only 5 questions in at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this just now, and I'm going to open the database that we actually edited yesterday, because obviously you don't edit a live database, do you? No, you edit a backup. So let's bring the backup in. Double click on the backup. And you can see right away it's taking longer to load. Although to be fair, the original database was like 8K, I think, thereabouts. And the new database is only 92K, so this really shouldn't be that bad. But it still knows. If we go in here, cancel. If we go in here and click on Browse Database, you can see there's far more questions in here. New things added as well. So new categories. So music was a new category. Sports was a new category. Movies, technology, and pop culture were new categories added, and there's 1,015 in the database. You can see down below. Okay, so with that in mind, let's close that because I don't need that open just now. And I will. I don't know why it's double clicking. It's annoying me. Right click and rename, and Control C to copy, and then I'll actually rename it something completely incorrect. So I shall rename this dash old, and then I'll rename this one to the actual database. So hopefully now when I rerun this, it should tell me I have 1,015 questions or thereabouts. And that didn't work. Let's try that again. Interesting. The database has 5 questions. Okay. Yeah, so it is not picking up the new database that we opened up. Even though the old database has 5 questions. But the new database, when it does eventually open, has 1,015, so that's interesting. Okay. So let's jump over to the console. File size is 12K. Pretty sure it should be larger than 12K. Give that a moment. Okay, I'll clear this. Then I'll run this again. Oh, it's already running. Thanks, my double click. Right, so in spite of the fact I have updated the database, it's not actually updating it within the application. Well, that's interesting. So Okay, since it's only the 5 questions, let's delete the old one. Interesting that it's using data initialized inside the app data folder. I wonder if that folder needs the database deleted first. Let's delete this anyway, because that's the old database. Let's try this again. If not, there's obviously a problem with there's a copy function that we had to write into this. That didn't look like it worked. There's a copy function that we had to write into this. Okay, that's definitely not working. So back to the console. This double click's really annoying me. Most mice, when they're failing, don't click at all. This one clicks twice. So, what do we have? We can close the DB browser because I'm open at the moment. And we can go to our project and let's have a look at our code. Which will be inside scripts. So we'll just open the three. We'll just open the 3 scripts. Okay. So I believe it was inside the database manager. We'll check if the database is there. Yeah. Okay, so it checks the database is there. If it is, it grabs the request. If the request is success, then it writes all bytes to another folder. Okay. So since it's using a different folder, let's just comment out that line because we don't need it at the moment. Okay, we'll run this again. It is so slow. Now go to the console. Okay, the DB exists in this folder. Okay, so let's have a look in that folder. Oh, that's the wrong one. There's a yes, there's a colon in the wrong place, and that file didn't get copied. Cool. Right, so it has got the wrong database here. Okay, so let's go back, move this out of the way. Let's go back to our chat GPT guru because we know what's happening now. I updated the database in my streaming assets folder. However, it has not updated in the game. The folder it points to does not have updated database. Why has this not updated? Okay. Since you can already copy the file path, then your code checks how to fix this. You have the option. Okay, right, that's not. Always overwriting is not a good idea either. Eh. Okay. So the new questions would not be updated in the way that this runs without me forcing an overwrite. Okay. So in that case, force the database to update every time to ensure it's using latest database. Wow. No way, that's not what I want. Okay. In that case, I'm going to have to add DB version checking. More kind of Paste's database version. Oh, no. Okay. You know what? This is fine because it's creating a new table to do this. So let's go over to our Unity. Stop the game running. Projects, go to streaming assets, go to brain drain database. Okay, go to execute SQL and drop that in there. So for those of you who don't really know SQL, it's saying create a new table if it doesn't exist called meta. Create a text key, it's a primary key with a value text, and then it's saying insert or replace into meta the key in the value. The value is DB version and it's 1.0. So what should happen if I run this is it should say finished without errors, which it does. If we go back to data structure, you can see we now have our new meta key and we can see our key text. So if I go to browse data and then change it to the meta table, we can see there's a DB version. Okay, so this is definitely a better option. Replace your awake method. What is the size of that code now? and it's sticking these stupid little icons in. Okay, so that's I don't know if that's the full code. Is this the full code for? Because it looks like it. And if we go back to here, no, it's definitely not a full code. I don't think. Cause database manager, if Android. If you need Android, initialize database. Database initialized at. Okay, so this is when I should probably be using the inbuilt version control for Unity in this. So I'll just ask it to generate the full quiz database manager.cs just to be sure now. So copy that, jump across, Control A, Control V. It's removed some additional stuff. It's removed iOS stuff here. Need to remove these stupid characters. Again. And again. And again. Jesus. And again. I get it that text is boring, but it doesn't need to add additional crud like this. Okay. So now if I save that, oh, my battery's about to die. Shuffle things about my desk a bit just now to move my charger cable across because it's a cabled mouse. Okay. So now that that's been saved, I can go into Unity. Now I hit play. Does it work? Work. Oh, there we go. failed to read the database default to 0.0, so that didn't work. Close managed database. Has the database name been removed? No. So line 35. Oh, hold on. Brain drain quiz level 35. Line 35. Right, okay. So it couldn't get the total questions in the database. So I'll provide the whole error here. Something's not linked. Apparently, it seems that way. So let's go back to ChatGPT. Getting the following error. Okay. Okay, so it recommends basically 3 ways to fix it. Option 1, option 2, okay, so quiz database manager. We add a boolean, which is basically true or false. Okay, then at the end of initialize database, which is there. Okay, so put the database be initialized and say to start brain drain quiz. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to compare these. So right, so instead of void start, it's changing it to I numerator start. I'm not going to, for the sake of this just now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out start. So I'm just going to comment that out and I'm going to paste the new code in. So I'll just paste it in down here just now. Okay. And I want to change the total questions.text to this one and get rid of the stupid little brain logo. Okay, is there anything else missing there? Score, update, total questions.text, update UI, check the database, load a random question. I think that looks fine. Okay. Okay. I think we're okay with it showing what it's shown just now. Try this again. Did I save that? No, I didn't save it. So, save. Save. Oh, wow. One moment. That's an error. There we go. So look back here. Darn mouse. See, we're trying to do this in such a budget. I've got a dodgy mouse and I'm actually not replacing it. Okay. So different error this time. Well, same error but different place. Okay. Made the changes. I've got a new error. So inside the start for brain drain quiz. So that says while the database isn't ready, then you'll return. So that gets stuck in a loop till it comes out. Okay. I love how padded my code's getting without actually making any real improvements to the game. Okay, so this is adding some more debug things. Oh, cancel, still one of those stupid icons somewhere. Where is it? Where's the Unicode? So the only part I've changed is here. Ah, there it's there. Okay. So let's try that again. And you can see how something that was really simple, all I did was try and fix a problem, and it created more. Well, technically all I did was try and update the database. So I'm not getting the error anymore, but it's told me it's failed to read the database version. But it also didn't grab any database info, did it? Okay, and there we go. Database question contains 1015 questions. Okay. So it's now picking up the new database, which is awesome, but it's failing to read the database version. Oh, there's now a journal being created. Is that because it's running? If I stop that playing, does it delete the journal? No? Okay, that's new. What's the point? All that did basically was add some checking and yet it worked. Not sure I like that. If you let it know that line 47 is, I can pinpoint exactly. The funny thing about that is it's wrote the code. So we've been doing this for so long, it's now beginning to forget how much it's actually generated. Okay, right. So what do we need to fix? We need to fix it's not grabbing the version correctly. So failed to read DB version default to 00. So that's got to be in the DB code. Just out of curiosity, since that now worked that time, let me try running it again just to see if it gives me the same error. Oh, actually, hold on. This has maybe been a previous error. Let's clear these. Try that again. Okay, no, so it's still there. Okay. Okay. I'm now getting this error. Open your database, then DB browser. Okay, and okay, so I know what's happened. I have not saved the database correctly. So I forgot that DB browser doesn't make the changes live. So this one. Okay, execute database, paste, and run. Oops. Database is locked. That's because it's in use. Okay, start that. Right again. Okay. Really? Really? Come on. Why would the database be locked? Nothing's running on it just now. Oh, okay, actually. Haha, okay, right, so I've got too many of these open, that's got part of the problem. So discard. That one can be discarded too. And that's the one where I made the meta change, you can see it there. But what I forgot to do is do right changes. So if I do right changes, that should now have read that key. That should now have changed that key. So if I go back over here, if I go back into Unity, okay, so let's try this again. There we go. Any errors? And no errors. Awesome. Right. So what can we do now? Let's go back to our code. Okay, I don't need the DB. Please get DB streaming assets. Okay, right. Let's ask it for any ideas on how to improve the game. Okay, what ideas do you think we should do next to improve the game? Let's do that. I'll pour myself some juice. Okay. Avoid repeat questions, add a timer. So what do we think? Is randomly in chat that can give me some input? No, there's not. Awesome. Okay. So of the randomness, people just trying to sell me buying views. Okay. Looks fine there. Looks fine there. Yep. Let's go. Okay, back here. Some of these were really good suggestions, actually. I hadn't thought about. Can you show an ad reacts questions? Probably do that, show an ad every 2 rounds or something, if each round's 10 questions. That'd be a good idea, potentially. That could also be quite good as well. I think making 10 questions in a round sounds like a good idea. Oh, it's literally just said that, yeah. Final score screen, prevent repeat questions and add some AI to answer feedback. Okay, let's admit them it to 10 questions per round. Okay, so we need some new variables. Okay, so at the top of your script, okay, I don't like the quiz complete thing at the moment, but we'll go with that. I've got too many tabs open. I'm going to have to clean some of these up at the moment, or in a moment. Where's my unit gone? Where's my unit? There's there. Okay, cool. So, stop the game from running. Okay, and this is braindrainquiz.cs. So let's open the code. Okay, don't need score defined twice, so let's take that out. As you can see, again, like I've said, it's forgetting that it's doing things. This basically is now pushing more things at me, and it's forgetting some of those things that it's already done. So it's getting harder to actually help. No, it's getting harder to understand the more we go on, because obviously that was a duplicate line that it had in there. Okay, update load random questions. What the heck is load random question? I don't think I have a load random question, do I? Is it in here? Oh, I do. Okay. So change load random question. Okay. And get rid of their stupid little icon. I really wish it stopped doing that. Wonder if I can ask it to stop doing that. And start begins around. So score 0. Update with random questions. So it's in the start. Okay, so it's set the score to 0. Current question index. Set to 0. Oops. It should be above this. Okay, and load random question, that's fine. Add a TMP text here is just like final message text. Okay. Okay, let's save this. Go back to Unity. Our game's still running. So, quiz manager. Final message text. For final message text, I am just going to reuse the feedback text. It doesn't really make sense to add an extra one, so I'll just drag that across, place that in there. Okay. And now, so we need to do loads up 10 random question, is around the score summary, it can easily be reset later. Okay, I'll track the score next after this, but let's make sure this works first of all. Wow, I have no idea. Oh, that answer is way too long. Some of these answers are going to be far too long, so I'm going to have to shorten these down, but I'll need to go through the database manually again to do that. I have no idea. I don't cats. Don't really do musicals. That worked. Liquids turn solids. Dehydration. Oh, well, fair play. Uh, 3/4. What is the square of 5? I have no idea. 1? Oh, it's not 5 times 5. Uh, Allegra? Oh, no, when I got that one. Hockey. I have no idea. So 25 miles. Oh, 26.2, I was close. Periodic. I have no idea. Okay, final score 2 out of 10. Okay, that sort of works. So let's do add a next round button and continue. No. Let's. Should we just do a play again? We'll do a play again. Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? I don't know if that'd work. I wonder if that would work. Let's go to submit button, duplicate. No, it doesn't work. Okay. Just Control Z, Control Z. No, it's still running anyway, so I need to stop the game from running. Right, okay. So, no, stop playing. So right click, new user interface, TMP button, new button, rename. I was going to say, where's the button? It's way down here. Okay, so oops. No, let's Control Z that because that wasn't intentional. Zoom in here, try and bring it to the sides. Okay. I can't remember what the submit button is, but it will be. What size is it? Font size 69. Ha! Biggie. Okay, font size 69. And wait again. Okay. Let's Control Z that. Oh, no. Go back to the button. No, the actual button. That look about right? I think that looks about right. Actually, that looks too big. So let's compare width and height. 547.83. 55977. Okay, so it's too tall. So 559 and 77. There we go. Right. Okay, we have a new play again button. Okay, and the button's on click event, quiz manager, drag in your quiz manager game object. The one with braindrain.quiz. Okay, so and the button and on click event. So add an on click, drag in quiz manager, place it there. Okay, there is no functions right yet. Oh, actually, yeah. Braindrain quiz restart game. Has that been created yet? I don't think that's been created yet. I think this is teasing me. Braindrain quiz. Yeah, right, that's not been created yet, so I can't do that yet. Set the button to inactive by default and inspector uncheck the box next to the play game button game object. Right, I don't want to do that quite yet. At the top of the page, brain drain at this. Okay, so back to code. So back in here with the rest of our variables. Okay, I'll assign it an inspector, that's fine. Update, load random question, tutorial button at the end. Looked like it changed more than just the button. Oh, maybe not. Get rid of its stupid little icon. I had to restart game method. See, a new method wasn't available yet. Okay. Select quiz manager, drag your play again button. Okay, right, so that's fine. So to go back in here, cancel. That's there. Stupid little pointy button thing. Okay, save that. Jump back in here. Come on. Okay. Go to my play button. Go to new function. Go to brain drain. Go to restart game. Okay. And then go to quiz manager. Yeah, play again button and drag the play again button across onto there. Okay. So let's just try that out. Okay. Okay, so no idea. IBM stretch. There we go. Basketball. Seen how bad my general knowledge is. Ooh, I need to edit some of these definitely. Which band was fronted by Kurt Cobain? Nirvana. And his best release was a Shotgun Safety Catch. I'm joking. Wasn't a big fan, but you know. Hey, I got one. No idea. I would never got that. It was a founder of the Persian Empire. Alexander? Again, my history sucks. It depends who wrote it, because all the legal code that people write these days is stupid, like the UK's Online Safety Act, which is effectively a censorship act, dressed up as dressed up as a child protection act. I'm going for basic. It's the wrong type of code, but I'm obviously just trying to rattle through these. Toaster. I'm really bad at this. Another one for IBM. Oh, I know this one because it's the anti-slavery versus pro-slavery one. Um, ah, Rebel War. It's not the Rebel War, but it's a Confederate War. That's it. No, Confederates were the South. So okay, no idea. Mm, Waiting for Godot. People who didn't like Unity when you changed your terms and conditions. No idea. Oh, I should probably make a. I don't know, quest complete. I should probably make a idiot version of this, a Davie edition for testing. Just have a database that I copy in Davie edition because I am absolutely terrible at these. Or what I could possibly do, actually, it's maybe a good idea, is have the answer output to the console so I can test it while playing. So now if I click play again, it starts again. Awesome. The Gestapo. Hey. Slan. Netflix? Man, I'm on a roll. No idea, Cleopatra. I wouldn't have got that one. Um, what was the first video to reach 1 billion views? No idea. That was a James Mask video. Yeah, I think that's a bad question. What's the smallest continent? It's not Asia, Africa, Europe, maybe? Australia. What was the first reality TV show? Big Brother? Don't think so, but we'll try that. American Family. 1973. Man, that's older than me. Okay. So that's cool. I mean, it's working. So, go back here. What does it say? Oh, I've hit my limit for ChatGPT again. I hit that. You hit the limit pretty quickly, actually, to be fair. Um, yeah, you hit the limit quite quickly. So since I'm not going to get any extra code written from ChatGPT just now, I can just start another chat. It'd be nice if I could remove the attachment. Like there should be an option to remove the attachment. Actually, let's see if there is. Let's go remove an attachment and chat GPT. Okay, so once you've actually uploaded it, you've basically got to delete the chat. Okay, so how long does ChatGPT actually store these for? And on your account to delete them manually, files. Okay, so 30 days. 30 days. Awesome. When did I upload these? Definitely wasn't 30 days ago. Let's zoom, 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 zoom. Game concept. Okay. It's not there. It's not there. Okay, I've got a score tracker. Can we do it local database? Again, all that's fine. This is where it got confusing because there was loads and loads of attempts to use SQL to do it. Okay. Still having problems with that. I don't see DLLs. Is it how to download manually? Model class. Yeah, it's clear, clean starter version of script. I don't see where I uploaded these files actually. I thought it was right back at the start. Okay, still not uploaded them now. DLL not found. I can get Android DLL. Android doesn't need DLL. Okay, good, not supported. It says debug in the database. There's where they're added. Okay, does it tell me when they were uploaded? There's no way for me to delete them here. That doesn't really tell me the date, does it? Okay. Right, so I've got a while before we can remove them. Let's try and be sneaky, right? This is probably not going to work, so let's do a new chat. Okay. I'm making a game in Unity. I have 3 scripts. This one. Okay. That's amazing how quickly it picks it up. The version control of the database using Meta. Okay. This is quiz. Yeah, and a brain drain quiz. Yes. Okay, so I don't know whether I'm being sneaky at the moment, but that looks like it could help me continue with this. But because I don't have the attachments, I don't need ChatGPT 4. So, okay. Now let's go back to Unity. And since I've still got time to stream, I'd intended to stream for about another half hour, give or take. Let's use Unity version control. Okay, next step to complete the setup. Create a workspace. Okay. Pause to brain drain. Okay. I'll probably want push and pull, that's what I think. So let's just try that. Interesting moving out an audio mixer showing here. So let's just do create workspace. See if it opens a web page. No. Okay. So 211 files selected. There's probably some in there I could remove, to be fair. Maybe be careful with the Text Mesh Pro in the future. I'll just call this initial code. Okay, check it in. Yes. There we go. Okay. So these were all done just now. Right, fine. So hopefully that means that we can actually set this up. But what I'll also do then is have a look at back to project. Come on. Okay, and back to our scripts. Okay, and then go back to our chat GPT. So that's interesting. Load a shuffled list at the beginning. Do you know what? I wonder if I can be really cheeky and put like a checkbox, developer mode enabled, and if I select developer mode enabled, it actually puts the question answer in for me so I can test things. That's maybe interesting. So give me a moment. I need to go check on the kitten. I shall be back in a moment. And yes, my kitten is fine. And the kitten in question here, though, is Spike. I generally go and check on him if he's been too quiet. Because if he's being too quiet, then there's always a chance that he's doing something that he's not supposed to be doing. So that's him being checked on. Right. That's an interesting suggested improvement. Improve the answer mechanics. I like that. Synonyms would be good, but that'd be quite difficult to code. Hey, funnily enough, look what I was just talking about. Okay, so let's add the, whoops, let's add the, come on, let me copy it. There we go. Just for where should this be? These are all really good suggestions. These are all very good suggestions. Right, okay. So where do you think we should put that? So obviously where it gets the answer. So load random question, probably. Actually, load random questions in here, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Okay. Question x plus 1. Question.text, question. So if I'm cheeky, place that in there. Then change that to current question.answer. Let's try that, because that's not too much of a change if I broke something. It's also good that you can detect whether you're in the Unity editor and actually just have debug code specifically for when you're in Unity. Okay, so the console. Click play. Ooh, okay. So there's an error in the size of questions. I need to change that. The answer's apple. Okay, so the answer to this is Twitter now X. That's another one that needs changed. Okay, so that seems to be working. But I'm also going to be quite cheeky. And if I'm inside editor, I'm going to actually change the answer text to the correct text. Now, obviously, I can blank that line out. I can comment that line out if need be. Okay, I do want to rearrange this a little. I want the question text. Okay, it expands further than that. Okay. So in that case, answer input. So I've just gave some more room for the question. I think we're definitely going to have to redesign this web interface at some point, but let's try that web interface, this UI at some point. That's given me some more. Oh, it did not set. That didn't run again. Let me try that again. There we go. So I should just click submit. That should get correct. There we go. And it's also outputting it down here as well. It's probably hills. Well, it's probably high even. See, that's a bad question. I definitely need a report question button in here. Okay. So database needs change as well. Definitely needs changed. I think. I think this is one of those things that the web interface is going to change over time, indefinitely, because the web interface, God, you can tell I used to code PHP. The interface is going to have to change because this looks like dead space at the moment, which obviously it isn't when you're playing the game, and this stuff looks too compressed. And we've obviously got the play button over here, the play button, the play again button over here over the database. So let's stop that for now. So let's do the question count. Let's see if we can eke this out a bit more. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's better. I mean, to be fair, the database containing the questions, we could have that in like a main menu or an intro or something like that. This is obviously just the main game we're trying to get together. There'll be a menu. There's also been suggestions for other things, like different game types, like a timer one where you're timed. Or better still, a survival one. I think the survival one with maybe 3 or 5 lives would be good. It would also allow me a monetization. Try again. It would also allow me a monetization option so that if you actually lose, you get 5 wrong, you can watch an advert to recover a life. And providing the questions were
as good as they currently are, because most of them stump me. Then it may give the game a lot more replayability. Okay, so what other minor changes can we make to this just now? So I like the fact we're now filling it, and then obviously if I want to stop it from just setting answer text in here, I can just // to do that. And what I'll do is I'll do a // after this, and I'll just put uncomment to insert correct answer. Yeah. Okay. So we should probably have a sound. Right, let's definitely have a sound. Debug helper console runs, that's fine. Very cases, that's fine. So I'm just going to add, I'm going to rename this chat quiz DB ideas. Okay. So preventing database from generating duplicates is definitely something. Should we do it just now? Shall we update it just now? Shall we do this? Okay, for the time being, let's ask it for, can you recommend a free Unity would have sounds or when you are correct or when you are wrong? A free Unity sound effects pack. So free Unity assets for sound effects. Okay, so can we go back into Unity? Can go to the services, not components. Nope. Assets. Okay. Oops. I thought I could open the asset store from here. Okay. Maybe I can't. That's fine. Or maybe I'm just being a bit on the tardy side. Another new messages. Twitch really doesn't like what I'm streaming to this in, which is a recommended settings, which I find amusing. Ignore that just now. Unity asset store, that's what I was looking for. Okay, top free assets. Okay, and what did it say? Game UI sounds and trends. So free sound effects pack. Okay. Wow, it's taking its time to search for that. There we go. Oliver, that looks like it's correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, open Unity. Download. Oh, 308 meg and it's only 51, so each one's about 6 meg. Yeah. What? There we go. Give that moment to download. Okay. And then import it. Okay, something's popping up. No, okay, I can't import the package because it's play mode. So stop the play mode. And then I can import the package. Okay. None of them seem like. Yeah, none of them seem useful. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like none of them seem to suit what I'm actually trying to do. So let's go back to Unity Store. Do time sound effects. Actually, I'm only looking for a couple of sound effects. Yeah, so let's try the other one that ChatGPT said. So I've used Pixabay before. Pixabay, rather. So let's find Pixabay. Sound effects. Now search for correct. Oh God, that's not good. That one's not bad. That's too long. 16 seconds. 16 seconds. Okay, so, right, I quite like that one. So can I download it? Can. Okay. And what about incorrect? That's quite obnoxious. I like that one. Right, we'll go with that. Okay, so I've got correct and incorrect. What about one if we have a perfect round? Celebration, maybe? – 22 seconds. Bit too long. 1 minute too long. 22, 9 seconds. I could probably do it being a bit shorter than that, to be honest. Can I order them? I can't order them that way. Okay. Wow, that one's terrible. There's music that one's, can't do that one. Music that one's, can't do that one. Words in that one, so can't do that one. Okay, let's just search for clapping. That was only a few seconds, that sounds good. I'll call it that one's crap. And that one. Okay, a bit too long, but hey ho, maybe. Okay, could probably trim that a little bit, but yeah, I think that's it. So we've got our applause. Okay. Right. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go over to Unity. In fact, let's go to our download folder and I'll rename these before I bring them in. So I might need to edit these at a later date. However, for the time being, we're good. Close that. import package and play mode. I'm okay with that. Let's clear these. Got project. My dodgy mouse playing up again. Go to audio, since we have some audio, and just place them in there just now. Okay. So let's go back to our ChatGPT. Can you tell me how to add a cheer sound when a question is correct? Download a cheer sound. Add, okay. Okay, audio source and braindrain.quiz. Okay. So braindrain.cs. Well, where's my code disappeared to? Minutes? Okay, audio source, audio clip. Site game object has been quiz and expected from the cheer audio file to cheer clip. Okay. Assign and unit vector select game object holds you can do the quiz script. Okay. Come on. Save. Close some of these windows. Okay. Let's go back to Unity. Quiz manager. Cheer clip. Okay. So correct was that one. Okay. Add an audio source component if one doesn't exist. So right click, game objects, audio source. Okay, and quiz manager should have audio source. Okay. Audio source, make sure that if you select audio source, loop is turned off and play on awake is unchecked. Okay, let's go our audio source. Okay, so it's also telling us that if we go back to here, okay, so if I just to work this out in my head logically, so if we go to Quiz Manager, we need to clear clip, and where's it getting cheer clip from? There's cheer clip there, but we've not actually added that anywhere yet, have we? Okay, we'll deal with that in a moment. If player answer equals correct. So, whereabouts is this? Inside your check answer. Update. Okay, so but feedback text is correct. Score plus plus. Update check. That's the part that's been added. Okay. So let's wait for that to open. Go back to our code because I want it to put the answer in for me. So I can hear the cheer clip. So if I hit play, wait for it to load. Okay, yep. There we go. Got the correct one. Awesome. So let's go back to our friend over here. Oh, vibrating a mobile. That'd be cool. Don't want to add a random cheer sound just now. I probably will at some point. But update this for a wrong clip too. Okay, so it literally was just as simple as doing the wrong clip thing. Okay, so back over here. Stop compiling. Now have wrong clip. So incorrect. We can have that added. Run this again. And try again. Okay, so I'm going to put space in here. Awesome, and that's absolutely infuriating. I love it. Awesome. Right, okay, so the next one, I'm going to try and do my own. But if we go back to here, go all the way up, Add public audio clip instead of the wrong clip, having change it to perfect clip. Okay. And go down here and we'll just change this to perfect clip when we need to. But I need to find out where it is ending the round. And load random question. Run. Okay, so it's got to be down here. Is that it's not? It's going to be check answer. No questions loaded. That's correct. Nice. Okay, invoke next question. Real answer. Load random question. Okay, if Davis is missing. Okay, so where's the next question now? Why am I missing this? Okay, load next question, submit button, and try to go through feedback. Load random question. Okay, so then inside load random question, if current question greater than equal question is not greater rounds. Okay. So let's just put some spaces in here. Right. Change this to perfect. Perfect clip. Okay. But I need to put another if statement in first. So slash and then star and then star and then slash. And inside here we'll put if, and if statements go inside brackets. Okay. Then we've got an open and a close. So if TOEFL let me do this, but let's try it this way. So if score, it's not looking like it's letting me do it right away. Actually, let's just take them out just now. If score equals questions per round, so it's going to be 2 equals. So score is exactly equal to questions per round. And play the perfect game audio. Okay. So let's try this. And I could have completely broken this by now. Okay, so go back to our quiz manager. We'll get a perfect one now, which I'm just calling applause. Okay, I'll hit play, see if this works. So I need a perfect game for this to work. So 1, sound was okay. 2, sound was okay. 3, sound was okay. 4, sound was okay. But never got that one. Would not got that one either. Nope. Nope. Might have got that one. Okay, so this should be it. Awesome. So that's an example where I didn't use ChatGPT to do that. However, I did work out how to do it on my own, which means that in spite of the fact that a lot of what you're seeing me do is copy and paste, what I'm also actually doing is understanding the code more than when I started, even over the last just 4 episodes. So I'm just going to go back to this chat and say, awesome. I added a perfect clip and you get the maximum score from the round. Yeah, pretty much what I did. Yeah, so I mean, I did that on my own. Yay! And I set up a perfect clip. So, cool. Right. Some particle effects and fireworks. This could be really cool. An Easter egg on perfect scores. I might actually get it to put some Easter eggs in at some point. I think that might be quite funny. But however, it's 1:15. In fact, it's 1:30 in the morning here in Scotland. So I will bid you adieu, and I will see you hopefully in episode 5. So I'll leave it there for tonight. Thank you for watching. Obviously, if you like this, like and subscribe. Okay, apparently I got a new day, new stream because I streamed for God knows how long. And follow us on Twitch and YouTube. And we actually have a Rumble account, though we're not streaming to it at the moment. We will be building this out as we try and get better at doing this. And obviously, doing this on my own at the moment. Usually, when we're doing the 2 Idiots Learn to Code series, there would be 2 of us. But at the moment, we're trying to get some content out there so that we can actually potentially head towards monetization for our YouTube streams and etc. etc. And actually be able to make some money doing this and teaching us how to do this, so the game itself isn't just the only income that we actually have, and as such means that we don't have to follow in the footsteps of every other gaming company out there and try and make everything about adverts and in-app purchases and stuff. So with that in mind, it's already late here. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for your time.